Sometimes I think that the weatherman would be better off if he did his presentation kind of like the newscasters do. The news is always presented after the events happen. And sometimes the weatherman might be a little better off to tell us about the weather after it's happened, because often he or she is not very successful in telling us about when it's going to happen in the future. Well, let's look again at James chapter 4, at some verses that we looked at in a previous episode, from the fact that life is very uncertain when we try to think about it before it happens. In fact, the Bible tells us here that we do not know, in James 4 verse 14, we do not know what will happen tomorrow. We don't even know what's going to happen in the next hour. But the illustration here is about that our life is a vapor, a mist that appears for a short time and then vanishes away. It's like boiling a pot of water, and the steam that rises up off of it, you can see it for a moment, but then it's gone. And it says that our life is very much just like that. In fact, the Bible goes on to say that if we view our life from the standpoint without the brevity of it in mind, then we could get into the danger of doing things that God considers sinful, because we will begin, as the rest of these verses say, boasting about the things that we're going to do. How do we even know if we're going to do them if we don't even know if we're going to be alive because of the brevity of life? We must have an appreciation for and a respect for the brevity of life. And that doesn't just mean that, this poor guy died when he was 25 or 30 years old. If we live to be 100 in comparison to eternity, life is very, very brief. Noah lived to be 950 years old. Adam lived to be 930 years old. But what's that compared to God and eternity? Days without number, days without end. James chapter 4 ends saying, therefore, he who knows to do good and does not do it, to him it is sin. If you look at that in its context, it would appear to say that if we know about the brevity of life and we don't respect it and we don't appreciate it, that's sinful behavior. That's unrighteous behavior. That's behavior we should avoid. Life, indeed, is short. Let's make the most of it.